Leadership doesn't fail loudly. It fails quietly, when responsibility increases and control does not. From the outside, nothing looks wrong. Decisions are made, meetings happen, people defer. But internally, something breaks. Energy doesn't disappear from effort. It disappears from bearing weight without authority. This is why leadership exhaustion feels different from ordinary fatigue. The work isn't harder. The burden is heavier. Modern leadership rarely looks like command. It looks like coordination. Approval loops, consensus, expectation without final say. Responsibility expands outward while control remains fixed. And that imbalance extracts a cost, not immediately, but gradually. This is why leaders feel drained even when nothing dramatic occurs. They aren't overwhelmed by tasks. They are carrying outcomes they cannot fully shape. This problem isn't new. One ancient ruler lived inside of it constantly. Marcus Aurelius governed the Roman Empire at its height, a system vast, complex, and relentlessly demanding. He didn't rule from stability. He ruled during plague, during war, during political pressure from every direction. Yet his private writings weren't about conquest. They were about containment. Marcus rarely complained about workload. He wrote about restraint, about limits, about accepting responsibility for events he could influence, but never fully control. This distinction mattered because authority without control creates erosion, not rebellion, not collapse, but internal depletion. Marcus understood that leadership becomes corrosive when outcomes are owned, but levers are restricted. The empire required decisions, but the system constrained certainty. Orders traveled slowly. Information arrived incomplete. Consequences unfolded months later. Responsibility was immediate. Control was not. That gap is where exhaustion forms. The structure didn't disappear. Replace emperors with executives, campaigns with quarterly results, empires with organizations. The shape remains. Modern leaders are accountable without full authority, responsible without final control. Measured on outcomes, they only partially influence. This is why leadership now exhausts differently, not through effort, through exposure. Every decision carries risk. Every non-decision carries blame. And because systems are diffuse, no action feels decisive. This produces a specific fatigue, not burnout, but burden without dominance. The mind never settles. Responsibility stays present, even when control is absent. Marcus didn't solve this. He endured it, not with confidence, but with clarity about limits. He recognized the cost. Leadership doesn't drain people because it demands action. It drains people when it demands ownership without granting control. This is the final pressure. Not effort, not attention, not status, but responsibility exceeding authority. When leadership becomes obligation without leverage, exhaustion isn't a symptom, it's the price.